The new flagship Axopar has arrived. It's the Axopar 45 Suntop, and eYachts have given me full access today to do a full walkthrough with you, and it is all about real go anywhere capability, versatility, and I think the Axopar army are going to absolutely love this one. So let's jump on and do a full walkthrough. So let's jump on board and step past this set of 3 Mercury 300 horsepower outboards. Now that's going to give us a top speed of just on 50 knots, so exactly what you expect from Axopar. But this is really what it's all about: versatile, entertaining space. And let me describe to you what we've got here and what you can have. So at the front here we've got this quite an open space, and this is where the modular nature of Axopar comes into play. At the moment you can see we've got this set up as some lounging area here facing aft, but you can add a second aft cabin which gives total accommodation to 4. But at the moment this is quite flexible. You can have a larger sun pad here if you want, so you really can do whatever you want as an owner with these Axopars. But let's talk a little bit about what we can see here. We've got this lounging and locker here where we've got space for some covers, lines, etc. We've got a pull-out freshwater tap just there. That's always very handy. And then on this side, this is a very versatile space. Now you can either configure this as another locker, or this can be, as the kind of brochure says, you can have these fitted out with a little wet bar and a grill, which gives you a second place to cater and look after your guests more towards the bow of the boat. So I think that's very, very clever. But let's move a little bit more forward, and what we can see here is we've got entertaining space for draining ice buckets, drink holders, and there's an enormous amount of storage all the way under here as well, which is fantastic. Now the 45 really is all about more entertaining space, more volume, more capability than we saw with the 37. And like the 37, we have this center dining table which can leaf over if you want. But in this configuration, if I sit here, you can see that we've got seating here for about 10 people. But a new feature of the 45s are these folding bulwarks out. Now this creates additional seating for 2 or 3 people on either side, and that's going to extend the total, like if you like, seating space to about 16 people just in this area alone, or maybe 14 people just in this area alone. So fantastic. Got these grab rails here. This is a very capable boat. You can take this really anywhere, and at times you'll want to grab onto something, so we've got those on both sides. And you can see here that it is the Suntop model, and this Suntop does come back in 2 sections, and I'll demonstrate that to you in one moment. But it really is a fantastic entertaining boat, and with entertaining boats what you need is versatility. And in line with that, the table that we just looked at can come down, so if you want, there are infill cushions. This can be one enormous sun pad. So if once you're finished with lunch, if you want to just all jump on a sun pad and enjoy the surroundings, then you can definitely do that. Wouldn't that just be absolutely brilliant? When it comes to catering and cooking up a storm, you can have this area, which is an aft facing little wet bar grill. And I like the fact that it is aft facing, so we're connected to everybody on board. And you can see here, this one has, if I lift this up, a good size pop-up sink. I would have a grill fitted, and you would do that right there. And then underneath here we've got the first of 4 drink chests, fridges. So there's one there, there's a second one there which is the same, but then hidden away there's 2 others, one on the port and starboard side underneath these side seats. So how convenient to be sitting there, and when you want to refill, just reach under, grab a drink from underneath that seating. You can see it here on this side, and away you go. So you can see that, you know, there's no shortage of socialising and entertaining capability on board the Axopar 45. I think that's absolutely brilliant. These little sections under here, these are little storage areas. They've packed in a lot of storage into the boat. There's another one just under there. Super useful. Pop your jumpers, anything you want could swivel into there. That's super useful. And you can see dotted around the bulwarks are the little pin lights, and this looks beautiful at dusk or at night. It really does illuminate exceptionally well. We're going to have a look at the helm in a minute, but I did mention the sun top, and it operates in two sections. So there's a button behind me, so I'll just show you what this is all about. So when you want this to extend all the way back, both sections, look at that, fantastic. So she really does open all the way up to give you as much or as little protection from the sun as you like. But when they're both open, that's spectacular. Isn't that amazing? I reckon that's how I'd be having it. Still with some lighting above here in this kind of centerpiece if you need that for whatever reason. All right, let's have a look at the helm before we move to the forward deck. So the helm is fantastic, and there's a few things I love about this helm. I mean, we've obviously got the two Simrad multifunction displays, of course, and some other engine instrumentation just here. That classic switching there. I love the way that Axopar do that. But the thing I want to call out here is this smart steering wheel. And why would you call a steering wheel smart? Well, you call it smart. I'll just steady the camera for a sec. It's called a smart steering wheel because at a fingertip you can do a number of things. You can control all the audio with your, on the left hand side here, and then on the right, in fact it's the other way around, on the right hand side is all the audio, on the left hand side you can control things like trim of the boat. So it's a little bit like the sort of instrumentation you get more on a car in that manner. And this is what you also get with the Brabus editions of these boats, but it's standard on the 45. So I think that's brilliant. You've got the joystick control over there, and that has the Mercury Skyhook functionality. So that means if you're bringing this into to a berth and you're controlling the boat by yourself, with the press of a button, the engines will keep you locked into that space, so you can get people on and off. It's just a very, very handy thing to have. The throttles there that control the three Mercuries. So when you engage one, that engages one engine. When you engage this one, it engages the other. And when you engage both of them, it engages all three simultaneously. So I think that's very, very, very clever. Of course, we're in the sun top, so we've got this open section like this in the sunscreen, in the windscreen. And because we're forward facing now, let's move forward, because you get the addition of this fantastic social space up here. So you can bring 2, 3, 4, probably 5 people here. We've got seating just above the anchor locker there. We've got a large sun pad there. Now those sun pad cushions at the moment are up over the gull wing doors to the cabin underneath, but you can obviously use that for sun baking there. And then there's a third section just here as well, which is a permanent section with big bolsters, inbuilt cup holders. Absolutely fantastic. This is where I'd like to come, I reckon, with a nice cold drink or a coffee. I'd be sitting up here doing this. You can also have them commissioned with an additional table mount, so you can have a smaller table up the front here if you want to have that as well, which is terrific. So I think this is a real feature section of the boat, a bit of a hero section of the boat. And yeah, I mean, I just love the way Axopar execute the space in their bows. Really fantastic. All right, we're going to spin back through the cockpit. I didn't mention, but it is worth mentioning because it is very important. Before getting to the bow, the whole of the aft cockpit, the entertaining area, the galley, the helm, it's all on one level. And that's very important when you've got a lot of people on board. You don't want to be tripping over little steps, etc. And that's a real feature of the 45, as well as the enormous amount of headroom, which must be, you know, well over 6'5", probably nearly 2 meters of headroom. That is brilliant. But what we're going to do is we're going to skip down into the forward cabin. And talking about headroom, on the 45 we now have full headroom, both in the cabin itself where I am and also in the head, which I'll show you in a moment. But let's talk a little bit about the cabin, because there is a few little clever additions to the 45. As you can see in this configuration, it's a nice size, like V double bed, like you're used to seeing. But what we can do is, if it's not set up for sleeping, it's quite easy to flip that section of the bed over, and it now becomes a very, very nice lounging area with some inbuilt timber sections there. So if it's, you know, maybe if it's too hot for someone, or you are staying overnight and you want to come down here, or maybe you've woken up in the morning, you've made the bed and you just want to fold that over and maybe just start the day down here, then you can absolutely do that. So I think that's a brilliant addition to the 45. These sections just to my side here are the steps up through the gull wing. So at the moment this one's got the cushions over it, but I'll spin around and you can see what it looks like without the cushions. So you've got this step that folds up, you activate the gull wings, and out you go. At the moment we've got this set up with the sun pad, so I won't be disturbing that, but it gives you another entrance into the cabin, which is brilliant. So again, with the sun cushions off, you've got all of this natural light coming through here, the 2 big hatches. It's fantastic. Storage dotted around places like this. We've got another dotted around here in amongst some of the switching gear. And as I said at the very start, with the 45 we've now got an even larger wet room ensuite, and I'll step inside here and I've got full headroom. So I reckon there's about 6'2" of headroom in here. Very, very comfortable. Opening section to my side here. We've got the wall mounted shower wand there, small basin there. Behind here, there we go, we've got some storage for all of your bathroom needs, like that. And of course the electric flush loo. But that's a bigger ensuite wet room than we had on the 37. Very, very, very comfortable. Fantastic. All right, let's move out from here and back up onto what I think is my favorite part of the 45, which is this center dining table, and we'll wrap this one up. So there she is, the brand new Axopar 45 Suntop. I did say that the Axopar army would love this one. I love it. I love the versatility in the space. You really do get the sense of the extension of the 37 to the 45. She's a real eye catcher in the marina today, and a very, very capable boat. Thank you to eYachts, who are always very gracious in giving me access to review their boats. They've done so again today. So if you're interested in one of these, all of the details will be available in the description. Get in contact with the guys at eYachts and they'll gladly help you out. But I reckon that's where we'll leave it. Thanks again. Share and like this video. Leave your comments if you did enjoy it, and subscribe if you want to see more of these. I'll see you next week on another fun video. Bye for now.